What'd you say the temperature was, Becky Lynn? We're at, is it 112?
No, it's 115 in Phoenix right
115.
now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
It just went up a degree. It was 114 literally 30 seconds ago.
Good. That's excellent. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Anything I can do to make your life happier.
No, it's great. That's wonderful. You know what I really like is that Joe and I have this wager on how many days we're going to have over 110 for the entire year. Now, he won in June because we had 17 days that were below 110, and I had 15 days or more, but we didn't get to that. So Joe won for June because it wasn't hot enough. But when it comes to total days over 110, Joe actually took the over. And I'm a little worried right now. You had, Joe, it's on our notes there. I don't know if you see that at the very bottom. We've got Joe picked 51 days this year would be over 110 degrees. Mm-hmm. And I took the under. I just said 50 or fewer. I pulled the prices right.
Yeah. I actually thought you went one more than me.
No.
But I like this better, where I think you're on the losing side. So let's go with that, where you went with less days. We did have the hottest June ever, as it just grabs me by the throat here in Phoenix. And we're going to talk with ABC 15 meteorologist Iris Hermosillo here in a few minutes. And I'm sure she's going to tell us just how scorching July, August, maybe even September will be here in Arizona in a few minutes, too.
We set the record for the warmest low. Warmest low, overnight temperatures, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We set the record, I don't know, last night, night before, whatever it was. And I think we got down to like 93, and the previous record was 91 or something like that.
So comfy.
Last year, there were, I believe, 2 days that didn't drop below 100. So we also took a wager on this. Mm-hmm. Nights that don't drop below 100.
This is the one where you prices righted me in the way that I think you will win.
I don't think so. I think you took 2 days, just like last year.
Yep.
I said 3 days.
And you don't think you're going to get that one either?
I don't think so. I think we're still going to drop below 100. That is really, it's tough to get. Listen,
but as the summer goes on, the heat island gets worse, and the nighttime lows get higher.
Yeah, I don't know.
In June, we typically have our highest high temps. I think that's when we hit that, what was it, 122 or 123 one day several years ago?
Yeah.
But the lows continue to rise because there's just no opportunity for it to cool off because it's so stinking hot unless you get the monsoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking on. That's what I've got for that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on the monsoon bailing me out on this.
Well, maybe you'll get some hurricane barrel,
Joe.
Some like lake effect.
Not everyone gets affected by Hurricane Barrel, Merrill. That's not a thing, Joe.
We've been affected by hurricanes here in the valley before. It can come up from the Gulf.
Oh, Joe. Did you see that the number of deaths have gone up this year? We're way ahead. What did we have, 600 last year?
Heat-related deaths last year in the valley, I think 645 for the whole year, yes.
Man, oh, man. According to Maricopa County Medical Examiner, the warmest June on record, as of June 29th, 175, which is nearly double what we had last year.
Yeah, there's been 13 confirmed heat-related ones, and then there's 162 more that they're saying are suspected heat-related deaths. But, they're saying every year, I want to say for like the last 10 years, the number of heat-related deaths in the valley has risen out here. And obviously they put in those cooling stations, and they've made a concerted effort here in the valley to try to help those who are less fortunate. Oftentimes it's elderly and the homeless who don't, either elderly because they tragically just forget to turn down the air, or they don't realize how hot it is until it's too late. The homeless, they simply don't have shelter. They've tried to do something to, with these heat stations to take care of people out here. But gosh, I saw that now we're eclipsing even last year's number, and we're trying to do more about it. I just wondered, what should the city be doing to reverse this trend? If we're throwing more assets at it, and it's actually getting worse, is it actually getting worse, or are we just finding that there are, this is going to sound silly, but I think you'll pick up what I'm saying. Is it actually getting worse, or are we just picking up on more people dealing with heat-related issues? Does that make sense to you?
That's my question. That does. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Are we just diagnosing it differently?
Yeah.
Is that the issue? Because, as we pointed out, of the 175 that they think are possible heat deaths, only 13 are confirmed, which means the vast majority are suspected. So how do we convert the suspected to confirmed, and how many of those remain suspected? In other words, have we changed our criteria in some way, shape, or form? Are we saying, look, we can't eliminate heat as the reason, so we're going to leave it in the suspecteds? You know what I mean? Is the reporting changing a little bit? We know things were really hot last year, and I don't want to take anything away from family members that lost someone due to heat. Mm-hmm. Certainly not what I'm trying to do.
No.
But when we try to think of, should the city, should the county, should the state be doing something different, I think we have to try to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And once we get to that, we go, okay, these are all apples to apples. We have seen a staggering 10-fold increase in heat-related deaths in the valley over the course of the last decade. All right, well, something has to be done. What does that mean?
It makes me think of COVID too. And you might be going, "What the heck? How does Joe tie heat-related deaths to COVID?"
Yeah, I'm curious to hear this.
Well, early on with COVID, the numbers were soaring, and there was a lot of people out there who would say that a number of the deaths were, yes, okay, so that person may have had COVID, but they were also
comorbidities.
Morbidly obese. They were a chain smoker. They had diabetes. They had cancer. All sorts of other problems, like you just said, comorbidities. And yes, they had COVID. Was it the COVID that killed them? Or was it all of the other issues that they had and they got COVID and then they passed away? How do we parse all of these things out? And I wonder some of that with the heat a little bit too.
Yeah, so let me make the same point about the heat that I would make as a counter to your COVID argument.
Okay.
Without the heat, even with those comorbidities, would they have still died that day? So if I am a chain smoker and I have COPD.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
If I don't get COVID, do I die today? Right? Even though I have COPD, it may be a comorbidity. Mm-hmm. COVID is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Correct.
Right? COVID is what did it. The other stuff had not been successful in killing me yet. Mm-hmm. COVID did it. If I am somebody who has a comorbidity and it's 118 degrees,
right?
Would I have died if it were 78 degrees? And if not, then I think we have to say heat is the reason that person died that day.
I'm certainly not a doctor, and I do think measuring factors into it. And I don't know anybody. I mean, I walked about a mile to work today. I dropped off my car, and
humble brag.
I felt after, and I love to walk, even at night when it's still 102, 103 degrees out.
Not so humble brag.
I love to walk, but I felt like after about 3/4 of a mile today in slacks and a dress shirt, like I was just ready to drop because it is so hot out there. So anybody who is going to say you're not going to do better in the heat, yeah, I fully back you. But I do think it matters if you have a number of other, comorbidities.
Thanks for watching the Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.